him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-magab, it's time for the only news that matters. And producer Max Warman argued that Jimmy Page's sloppy playing could be explained by the legendary Led Zeppelin guitarist's confidence and suggested that musicians delete a recording of what they made a mistake immediately. At least they begin to suffer from demoitis. Those who prefer their music to be played with an impeccable precision tend to downplay Jimmy Page's playing by calling it sloppy, while others tend to argue that the guitarist like Page has a bit of a looseness, only adds charm to the listening experience, and I would happen to be one of those. Being a producer, Max Norman probably appreciates when things are being done by the proper way, but in the case of Zeppelin's legendary guitarist and his perceived sloppiness, he seemed to take the middle ground. Judging what he said during a recent interview on the Talk Louder podcast. I like that podcast, actually. It's really cool. Max Norman said, if you want to talk sloppy, you got Jimmy Page there. Jimmy Page doesn't give a shit. Jimmy plays it twice, picks one of them, and walks out. He doesn't care because he knows people are going to like that. People are going to hear that mistake 3 times, and they're going to like it. Apparently, this is where Max's producer ear kicks in, and he proceeded to urge musicians not to keep the takes with audible mistakes, as they risk developing a case of demoitis, agonizing over which take to include in the final cut, and romanticizing that flawed first take. He said, if you're in the studio, you're doing an overdub, and they sing the wrong part, erase it immediately. Don't keep it. Just get rid of it, because if you hear it 3 times, you're gonna like it. And now you got the wrong part. Later on, you're gonna go, oh, that's the wrong part. You know, I like it though. And now you get demoitis. You got to be really careful about that stuff. All right, well, there you go. The great Max Norman. He did Die of a Madman. Die of a Madman. I mean, nothing can touch that album since the release of that album, except for Melissa and Don't Break the Oath. But other than that, there's no other album since 1982 that can touch Blizzard of Oz, recorded by Max Norman, in my opinion. And I love Jimmy Page. I don't care if he's sloppy. The things that guy came up with in the studio. I mean, listen to what he does in the Rain song. That is like the most lush, beautiful guitar playing I've ever heard. It's gorgeous. It just bleeds emotion and beautiful. There's nothing sloppy about it. Sure, he's in the studio, so he can't get sloppy in the studio. Well, that's fine with me, because the Rain song, I mean, almost every single song Led Zeppelin released in the 70s, I can't count on 2 hands songs I don't like from Zeppelin in the 70s. Songs I don't include Coda. I mean, the man is just, I thought he was brilliant, and he produced those albums. Now, I don't have an ear for production, but seriously, I mean, the ear I do have, listening to Led Zeppelin albums, I'm like, this is the greatest producer ever, I think. But then again, I don't have an ear for it, and I heard the great Martin Popoff say that Jimmy Page is a terrible producer. So there you go. He knows about production, I don't. All I know is my lack of production makes me love what Jimmy Page did on those Led Zeppelin albums. You know, it was just brilliant production, brilliant sounds, brilliant guitar playing, songwriting, I mean, the whole shebang, the drumming, and, you know, John Paul Jones, Robert Plant, rock god. Absolutely love Led Zeppelin. Yes, a lot of you don't. And a lot of you are probably tuning into this because, you know, the headline says, you know, Jimmy Page is a sloppy guitar player. So you're here to, yeah, he's sloppy. I don't like sloppy. I like picture perfect. I like it perfect. And I want it spot on, which is cool, but I love the human element. That's why there's a difference between Ozzy Osbourne and Ronnie James Dio. Ozzy Osbourne was human. Ronnie James Dio was perfection. It was like a machine. Now, I'm not slamming the guy. I mean, I think he's a better singer than Ozzy. One of my favorite singers and sang on my favorite song, Stargazer. My point is, I still prefer Ozzy and Black Sabbath with that organic nature of not only Ozzy Osbourne, but the band itself. They were ridiculously good, and I absolutely love Black Sabbath with Ozzy. Just like, you know, I love the sloppiness of Jimmy Page. I don't care. You can get like somebody amazing. Let's say Akira Takasaki from Loudness to play in Led Zeppelin. Now, mind you, that would be badass. But I guarantee it, I would like Jimmy Page more. The sloppy guitar player. The one that's not so precise. I'd rather have him on Led Zeppelin songs because, man, Down by the Seaside. I just can spit out so many Led Zeppelin songs that are so underrated and amazing that you'll never hear on the radio. You hear A Whole Lot of Love, Stairway to Heaven, their best song, by the way. And, you know, Rock and Roll, Black Dog, this and that. But, man, they had the Wanton song. They had In the Light. You know, I said earlier, the Rain song, No Quarter. My God, the songs this band had. Bring It On Home, When the Levee Breaks. Jesus, man. What a band. And, boy, did they deserve everything they got in the 70s. Because that band was playing stadiums. You know, early on. I remember my brother went to Tampa to see the Presence tour. And I think it was something like it rained and they had to stop the show, but they booked it again. And that Tampa show at that time, on that date, was the biggest festival ever. There never was a gathering of people as big as that Tampa show with Led Zeppelin. There's a news report about it. That was on one of those Led Zeppelin DVDs I bought, and I'm sure you can see it on YouTube. They were huge. You know, I mean, you can compare who you want. I mean, I remember when I was a little kid, it was Led Zeppelin against The Who. And I love The Who, but man, Led Zeppelin was above, and plus, you know, The Who wasn't playing stadium. Well, they were playing stadiums on the Farewell Tour, but that doesn't really count. That wasn't with Keith Moon. Were they playing stadiums with Keith Moon? I think they were an arena band at the time. They weren't as big as Zeppelin. Maybe somebody could correct me because I didn't really get heavily into music till right when Keith Moon died. So I remember seeing footage because I love The Who and I've seen footage of them in arenas, but not big stadiums like Zeppelin. Now before I add, Zeppelin did have 9 albums, so I'm going to rank them pretty quick here. Alright, at number 9, I go with Coda. I don't count Coda as a good album. I just don't like it. Though it does have Wearin' and Tearin' and Workin' a Groove. I mean, you want to talk about, the Jimmy Page is sloppy and stuff. Look at that footage of Workin' a Groove, which is on one of those Zeppelin DVDs. He's not sloppy at all. That early Led Zeppelin, oh my God, was Jimmy and the whole band on fire. But I hate the rest of Coda. All right, at number 8, I would put Into the Outdoor, but I'm not. I'm going to put Presence, which is most people's favorite because you want to be that guy. Hey, look, my favorite Zeppelin album doesn't have any hits. I'm not that guy. Though I will say, I love Presence. I hate Candy Store Rock. I can do without that song. But I love Presence. Achilles' Last Stand. Could have been shaved down a bit. I know, blasphemous. And Nobody's Fault But Mine, Royal Orleans, there's some great stuff on there. T for One. I dig all this stuff, and I don't like blues. But I like that, Led Zeppelin doing T for One. All right. And number 7, I'll go with Into the Outdoor. I think this album is so special to me because I bought it when it was brand new. And Carrots Alhambra is godly to me. And In the Light, oh my love, I'm gonna crawl. Oh, just godly. I even love Hot Dog. But anyway, that is the number 7, right? So at number 6, great album, the first one. I love it. Oh yeah, they got sued for ripping off these blues artists and all these other people, like they ripped off Dazed and Confused and You Shook Me and all that stuff. But if you ask me, they made it better. They may have stolen it, but they made those songs better because I heard the originals and screw that stuff. Zeppelin all the way. At number 6, 1. At number 5, 2. Zeppelin 2's awesome, man. Whole Lot of Love, What Is and What Should Never Be. Thank You, one of the most gorgeous Led Zeppelin ballads. That and Tangerine would probably be my 2 favorite Led Zeppelin ballads. Bring It On Home, my favorite on there. I just love Zeppelin 2. All right, at 4, Zeppelin 4. Yes, the Zozo album with my favorite song, Stairway to Heaven. But man, you got 4 Sticks, When the Levee Breaks, Misty Mountain Hop, the Battle of Evermore, absolutely love. Rock and Roll, awesome album. At number 4, Zeppelin 4. At number 3, Zeppelin 3. Yeah, Zeppelin 3. A weird album. I don't like that Hats Off to Roy Harper. I can do without that song. The last 2 songs are kind of like whatever, but everything before it, like I mentioned, Tangerine, one of my favorite ballads. Of course, Immigrant Song, Friends, Celebration Day, Since I've Been Loving You, Out of the Tiles, Gallows Pole, All the Way. I mean, That's the Way. Oh my God, great album. Number 3. And number 2, Houses of the Holy, man. Oh my God, the song remains the same, and then the Rain song, then Over the Hills and Far Away. Screw the crunch, I hate that song. Dancing Days, I love Jamaica, I love No Quarter, The Ocean, amazing album. And at number 1, the double album, Physical Graffiti. I love just about every song on that album. It's amazing, you know, the Wanson song, In the Light, the Rover. Oh my God, I can keep going on. 10 Years Gone, In the Light. Oh my God, what an album. Down by the Seaside. I can keep going on and on. What an amazing album. Kashmir. But anyway, there you go. Hey, Zeppelin lovers and Zeppelin haters, leave your comments below of what you feel about, Led Zeppelin. He sucks, he's sloppy. Or hey, I got a brain in my head and I can tell Led Zeppelin's good. Just leave those comments down there and I would appreciate it. And hey, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Because if you haven't, please do so. It would make your life better and it would make me happy. Alright? And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty, listen to Black Sabbath, and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.